All right, welcome back to Fleckes Talks a Podcast, episode 293. Today on the show, big indictments are coming, and we're going to tell you why to expect some false flag attacks on the follow-up. Then, there was a major ICE shooting in Dallas by another Antifa type. We're going to go over that. Then in Cringe of the Week, we have a large, violent trans section that you're not going to want to miss. And last but not least, in Urban Decay, we have some bad subway behavior. All this and more is Fleckes Talks the Podcast, episode 293, ranked the best news podcast of all time.
Because words are just words until action actually starts. And actions speak louder than words, but at the same time, words speak louder than actions because sometimes it's the right thing to do.
Very cool. Very cool.
It's Fleckes Talks the Podcast featuring Richard Grabboy.
All right, 1 for 1 on the intro, as always. Guys, the swamp and Big Pharma know a healthy population is harder to control. That's why the FDA is trying to hand NMN, nicotinamide mononucleotide, to Big Pharma and take it from you. NMN powers 37 trillion cells in your body, helps lower weight, cholesterol, and blood pressure, and even can slow or reverse aging. I swear by it, but don't take my word for it. Here's Professor David Sinclair from the Center for the Biology of Aging at Harvard Medical School talking about it on Joe Rogan.
What is NMN? Good question. So about 20 years ago, Lenny Guarente and a team of us at MIT discovered a set of genes that controls aging in yeast cells, just brewer's yeast, what you find in beer and bread. And those genes are called sirtuins, and there are 7 of them in our bodies, 5 in yeast. And what they do is they protect all organisms on the planet, plants, bacteria, humans, from deterioration and disease. They're like the Pentagon. They sense when we're hungry, sense when we're exercising, and they send out the troops to defend us. So when you put more of these genes into a yeast cell or a mouse, they'll live longer, between 5 to 20% longer. And so we think that these genes are responsible for the effects of dieting and exercise, which is great. What that means is we can now mimic that with molecules. So NMN is one of those molecules, so is resveratrol.
NMN works so well, the FDA wants it off of supplement shelves. On September 30th, they'll decide whether to reclassify it as a drug, handing control to Big Pharma. This is the last week you could still get NMN as a supplement before it could be banned forever. This change isn't about safety or efficacy, it's about cornering the market and taking the supplement away from you. I've been taking NMN for a while and I could definitely vouch for the benefits. My cardio is improved, my lifting has improved, I'm thinking clearer, and I have more energy to create these videos for all of you guys. Why? Because NMN is one of the main precursors of NAD, which Professor Sinclair also explains in this video.
Get this, so sirtuins need NAD to work. Without them, they don't work. In fact, if you don't have NAD in your body, you'd be dead in about 30 seconds. It's a really important molecule. But as we get older, we lose NAD. So by the time you're 50, like I am, almost out, you have about half the levels of what you had when you were 20. So that's not good. And these sirtuins, they don't protect the body without high levels of...
In other words, as you get older, in order to stay strong, healthy, and mentally sharp, you need to keep your NAD levels up. Sure, there are a lot of NAD products out there, but ask yourself this. Why is NMN the only one the FDA is trying to turn into a drug? Why are they spending millions of dollars to do it? Because it's the best. It works better than the rest, and that's exactly why Big Pharma wants to control it. And here's the bottom line. This is the final week to stock up. Once September 30th passes, the FDA could take NMN away for good. That's why I pushed Black Forest to get us the deal right now so my audience has a chance to stock up before it's gone forever. They agreed to do an amazing buy one, get one free for the next 48 hours only. This stuff isn't cheap, so it's the perfect time to stock up. Don't wait until the FDA shuts this down. Link is pinned in the comments and in the description. If you don't decide now, the FDA will decide for you, and once it's gone forever. Thank you to Black Forest Supplements for sponsoring. Let's get into housekeeping. All right, thank you to Black Forest for sponsoring.
Thank you, Black Forest.
Very cool. Hey, guys, happy Friday. We made it.
Yeah, we always make it.
Yeah, we do.
Is there something there, or is that just how it
I'm
goes?
grateful.
Yeah. I guess sometimes I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not very self-reflective like that. I just show up and I do it again, and I do it again, and I do it again.
And then one day it'll be the last one.
I know. Yeah.
Hopefully not soon. Well, we have some good stuff to get to. This is a packed episode with a lot of good stuff, good clips. Busy week. First, I'm going to start off with a little personal story. Good news from my end.
Okay.
Jerry the Rottweiler got out the other day. He got out of my fenced-in backyard, and I was walking around like watering my plants, and I see him at the front door looking in, and I'm like, "Hey, buddy, come on in." So I feel like dogs escaping from your property or your house is like a once a year issue.
Yeah.
And I just got mine done and over with safely.
That's nice that he came to the front door. And what happened? Lawn keepers or
Yeah,
whatever?
lawn guys left the door open. I let him out, and I'm just walking. I see him at the front door going, looking in. And I'm like,
Now,
come on in.
And I will say, missing Labradoodle, missing Golden Retriever, people know that's safe to approach. Oh, let's get you home, buddy. Missing Rottweiler can get a little dark.
Like, what do we...
Pull my sidearm on the missing Rottweiler.
Yeah.
So you gotta lock in.
I got to lock in. It's a once-a-year
sake.
event, and my once-a-year event has been taken care of. Thank you, God.
Congratulations.
All right, let's get into the show.
All right.
We have things to get to. First things first, Google admits censorship under Biden, promises to end bans of YouTube accounts of thousands of Americans censored for political speech.
Yeah, so that was, I guess, thanks to Jim Jordan and the House Oversight, or House Judiciary Committee, rather, and he was subpoenaing Google. He's been talking about this for a long time. We obviously knew. We saw the channels get nuked. We're saying the word Maxine like this still to this day, PTSD type stuff, knowing that YouTube is bad, and somehow snuck under the radar. But the Biden administration pressured Google to censor Americans and remove content that did not violate YouTube's policies was one of the big admissions, right?
Yes, and as many of you guys know, I am on the lawsuit against Google with President Trump, and I can't really get too much into that, but it's getting worked out. And we have a graph here that shows the channel's views. This is a graph of all the views of the Fleckus Talks YouTube channel. And you can see the lawsuit kind of get worked out in between March and June there.
There was a governor taken off.
It was shadow banned, and now the shadow ban has been removed, and everything is going back to normal.
Yeah, and we saw some piece of the Biden administration encouraging censorship on Twitter back in the day before Elon Musk owned it. Some of those emails got leaked during some lawsuits there, so we have already known it. But man, the Biden administration, because we know Joe Biden was doing auto pen shit, was senile, borderline retarded the whole time. So like someone in Biden's administration was just like,
Yeah.
let's get all these conservatives, right? And then they want to cry or complain about Jimmy Kimmel being off the air for 3 nights.
Yeah.
So
And the stuff that was being suppressed was all COVID related. And then if you really extrapolate, which is part of the lawsuit, if you had gotten that information out there, a lot of things wouldn't have happened. Like if there were alternatives or things that could treat COVID, you wouldn't need to do a emergency authorization of the vaccine.
yeah, totally.
So there's like things that really could have got the ball rolling that could have affected the entire world, and then they censored it, which is weird. And it's not fully good news yet. They already rebanned Alex Jones and Nick Fuentes, and then they're saying, oh, this is a pilot program. I don't fully know what that means.
Yeah, it's some sort of pilot program where you have to beg them and come on bended knee and like say, hey, it's me, Alex Jones. Can I come back? And how do you think that's going to go? So they're not even fully committed to it, but they do admit fault. 6 years later? 5 years later?
Yeah, 5 years later.
But yeah, Google, Facebook, Zuckerberg got steamrolled by the Biden admin. He admitted that he made mistakes and stuff like that. So
Twitter also.
everywhere, man.
Everyone that Trump sued basically lost.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to our next story. Jim Comey is about to be indicted any day now.
Grand jury has just handed down an indictment for former FBI Director James Comey. The Justice Department accuses Comey of lying to Congress while under oath back in 2020. Let's bring in David Spunt with all the breaking details. David, what can you tell us?
Well, Jillian, we are waiting to get the actual details of the indictment. We're just told that an indictment has been handed up against the former FBI director.
Which is great.
Lying to Congress.
Lying to Congress, and we actually have his lie right here.
Do you stand by your House testimony on March 20th that there was no surveillance of the Trump campaign that you're aware of?
Correct.
You would know about it if they were, is that correct?
I think so, yes.
Okay.
You're going to jail, buddy.
You're going to fucking jail. And then any body language experts out there? That I think so, yes. The moving the head, I don't know. I think he knew at the time that he was lying and a little treasonous fuck.
A little treasonous fuck, and him and his whole crew, Obama and all them, illegally spied on Trump pre-2016 election. They knew what they were doing. They had a little plan. They thought they were going to win, and Hillary Clinton would just say, hey, no big deal, you're good. And I actually did an interview with George Papadopoulos like 7 years ago about exactly this, because he was one of the people who was illegally spied on too. And we did a little treason yes or no speed round. I'm going to read you some names, and you tell me just yes or no if you think that they've participated in treasonous activity.
Sure.
So treason, yes or no, speed round. James Comey.
Yes.
Peter Strzok.
Yes.
Loretta Lynch.
Yes.
McCabe.
Yes.
Mueller.
Yes.
Rosenstein.
Yes.
Hillary.
Yes.
The Orrs.
Yes.
John Brennan.
Yes.
James Clapper.
Yes.
Valerie Jarrett.
Yes.
Obama.
Yes.
Wow. 100%.
And it's a 10 for 10. And you know why the last person is the most important? Because he was the kingpin.
It's a 10 for 10 on the treason yes or no speed round.
Yeah, crazy.
No one was interviewing like that back then.
I know.
Treason yes or no speed round.
And I believe him. And you know what? Comey, there a lot of people obviously were involved in this at various levels. There were the foot soldiers, the leaders, and Comey was kind of a hybrid. You know, who was he taking orders from at that point? And who else can you take orders from as the head of the FBI?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's you, John Brennan, Obama.
And CIA FBI president.
That's what I'm saying. And I actually saw a video of Trump when he had just gotten elected in 2016, and he was like meeting people in his Oval Office, and he said, "Oh, and James Comey." And Comey walks up and shakes his hand, and it's real unenthusiastic. And Trump's kind of like, "Hey, how's it going? Like, we're gonna have fun, right?" And he doesn't even know what's been going on already at that point. It's kind of sad. It's like, it's dark.
It's like embarrassing.
Yeah.
But not anymore, because we're going to get him in a good way. And there's also New York Times reporting that the DOJ pushes for probe of George Soros' foundation.
Yeah.
And so they're going after George Soros. I'm hearing they're going for Obama and Letitia James for mortgage fraud.
Yeah, Letitia James is an easy one. She wasn't, you know, she was just an end-level henchman, kind of cross-eyed fat idiot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she was just doing one of them.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's, I mean, we almost have to do something like this because that politically motivated persecution of Trump by random mid-level people. Remember, we used to show videos, he's an illegitimate president. She was yelling. But there needs to be consequences. You can't just be like a pit bull released to attack the president and then go, oh, yeah, you got off your leash. You know, there are consequences for you, too, not just whoever kind of encouraged you to do this thing.
That's
right?
very true. And keep in mind, guys, this is where it gets unfortunate. If they do go after Obama, George Soros, Jim Comey, and all these people, they are going to do false flag attacks. They're going to, up to the point of like, they're going to nuke us. They're going to nuke themselves.
Okay.
It's going to get ugly. They've been planning like a civil war for a while. They'll probably try to fast track that.
Dirty bomb in Atlanta.
They're going to do something really, really bad if these people are actually about to get in trouble.
Okay.
And that's the game. And we already have one of the threats here.
Yeah, this tweet says multiple intel sources are reporting this is a very serious, high-level threat alleged to be retaliation for Trump 45 assassinating Qasem Soleimani, and multiple Iranian hit squads entered the U.S. during the Biden administration. Persians never forgive or forget.
And can you read like the first paragraph or two? It kind of explains what the theory is as to what the attack will look like.
My sources tell me the al-Qaeda terror attack plans in the U.S. are focused on hospitals and medical facilities. NCTC even has evidence that these terrorists are scoping emergency rooms, trauma centers, and triage points in cities like New York, L.A., Chicago, Houston, and Miami. The intent appears clear: disrupt healthcare infrastructure to prevent treatment of the wounded, effectively creating a second wave of fatalities through denial of care.
And can you read that middle paragraph? Sorry.
In the event of an attack, civilians could face a nightmarish scenario where friends and foe are indistinguishable, with medics overwhelmed and no safe haven for the injured. The potential for hundreds, if not thousands, of additional deaths in the chaos is described by one DHS source as horrific beyond comprehension.
And then there's another part of it, too, where they're like going to dress up as police officers or dress up as first responders and then attack even worse.
Some Joker shit.
The real Joker shit, and it doesn't sound good. And then I've always said this, Iran is like the deep state false flag attack arm of the deep state.
Yeah, that's who they pin it on if there's anything.
So, Iran did this, and it's like, you did this.
Israel's number one enemy forever.
Yeah.
They did it.
Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of how it works, unfortunately. So just keep that in mind, guys. Head on a swivel. Should we escalate pepper spray season to concealed carry season?
Yes.
I think we're there.
I think it's actually time, especially with this recent wave of left-wing violence. Consider it me signing off on it.
Keys.
Yeah, turn them at the same time.
Two keys turn at
We
the
are
same
done
time.
with pepper spray season.
It's now concealed carry season, respectfully.
Yes.
And then Pete Hegseth orders rare urgent meeting of hundreds of generals and admirals. So this happened yesterday. There was just a random memo sent out that everyone needs to come to D.C. for an emergency meeting.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound good. Then some people are saying that NATO might be fighting on behalf of Ukraine against Russia starting soon.
Trump kind of hinted at some rhetoric about that, and I still think it's a move to bring Putin to the negotiating table a little more. But
Yeah.
he's kind of just showing his resolve of arming Ukraine even more. So, which is not a good update. We don't like that, which is why you hope it's just a negotiating tactic.
Yeah, and then Raheem had a really good point about that in an article. They quoted him, and they basically said, oh, why does MAGA all of a sudden not care that Trump's backing Ukraine? Mm-hmm. And he said both sides had a chance to come to the table and get something done, and both sides rejected the deal. So whatever happened, we don't care. Whatever happens, happens.
That's true.
That's on you guys. All right, so hopefully no bad stuff.
Fingers crossed, but I got a feeling that fingers crossing won't work because we feel like we're on the cusp of something. And then you know how the whole shooters thing, I think that's going to keep going because that's just contagious. We're about to get into one right now, but the attacks and the shooters and the lone wolf incidents, regardless of some larger plot like you were just speculating on, they all get inspired by each other, and it's like a chain of firecrackers that goes off.
Yeah.
And eventually, until it's done popping, I think there are going to be more attacks.
And their modus operandi seems to be sniping.
Yeah, they like the long range now.
Which is interesting, and I don't know how snipeable I am. I barely leave the house. But you could get me when I go to the bait store and I buy chunks of fish that I attach to strings and throw in the ocean for no reason.
Yeah. So is fishing not going that well? Is that what I'm hearing?
Do people actually catch fish?
Yeah, all
Do
the
people
time.
go fishing and have a successful day?
Yeah.
Or is it just once a year you have a successful day and then you're chasing that dragon forever? Do people actually catch fish whenever they want?
A lot of times, yes. And only if conditions are bad do they get skunked.
All right.
I remember one time we went on a tuna fishing thing for a friend's bachelor party. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
We went on a tuna fishing boat. It's $150, $200 per person. You go out there. And it was the day after an offshore earthquake. And our entire boat, it was one of those big boats with bunk beds, and you rent a spot, and everybody should be yanking up tuna off the side. Our entire boat of maybe 100 people caught 2 tuna.
It wasn't me.
And it wasn't me either. But it's some luck after a fucking earthquake.
But that's me fishing and catching nothing, and then looking back and going, does anyone actually catch fish?
And then you're talking to some of the employees, and they're like, oh, you should have seen us yesterday. This old woman pulled up 3. And I'm almost puking.
Is it a lie? Is it are they NPC bots?
I don't know.
Oh, fishing's great. Oh, it didn't work today.
Make sure to leave a tip for your captain. It's what the fuck are you talking about?
All right, we can't get too derailed. There was another anti-ICE attack, another Antifa-type shot at an ICE facility in Dallas, but he ended up killing 1 illegal and shooting 1 more. So it didn't really go as planned.
Yeah, I think he shot 2 more, actually.
Okay, so 3 total, 1 died, 2 shot.
And then he killed himself afterwards. So, but yeah, it was another long-range attack. I think 20 to 30 bullets. I don't know the exact number, but people say a bunch of shots rang out. And he hit some illegals.
Yeah, it didn't really go as planned. Here's the guy, Joshua John.
Yeah, and people are calling him another gamer Discord reject. We have a problem in America. He just looks like one of those radicalized online loser 29-year-olds with some communist tendencies.
Yeah, he had a communist profile picture and Antifa imagery.
Yeah, exactly. So he's that type of guy. And one of those guys who just kind of gets vaguely sucked into it, probably doesn't even have a very coherent worldview, and all of a sudden he's like, I'm on a mission.
Yeah.
Which is crazy how quick that can happen if you're just in a little online echo chamber no-go zone.
Yeah, it's a lot of people are really willing to do this. Maybe their brains get taken over.
Yeah.
And it's some MK Ultra shit. That's not off the table. They found the bullet similar to the other shooting, Charlie's shooter, where they had a message and he wrote anti-ICE on the bullet.
Does that get you going at all?
Fed-wise?
Yeah, write something anti-ICE on the bullet. okay, anti-ICE.
Yeah, it's a little on the nose.
It's a little heavy-handed.
It's a little heavy-handed, not very creative. And then
but they found some other stuff too. Like he left some writings behind. Like it was clear this guy was a leftist attacking ICE officers. I think he used one of the ICE tracking apps that is out there.
Yeah, they're using the apps for bad reasons.
Yeah.
And then can you read this summary?
Yeah, so the shooter is fat, voted Democrat in multiple elections, pro-communist profile picture, bad aim, wrote leftist messages on bullets, has sister that is dating a trans female to male transgender. TFM transgender?
Yeah.
And his mom has TDS on Facebook. So his sister's in some like a little lesbian with a little boy relationship.
Yeah, not good. And don't forget
trans adjacent, that means.
Yeah, trans adjacent.
6 degrees of transoration. He's only 2 legs away, right?
Yeah, in the trans universe.
Yeah.
You're in the trans universe.
Totally.
And then don't forget 2 months ago, a major terror plot to kill ICE agents was caught before it was foiled before it happened. 11 people were arrested. Remember that? And this was in Texas as well.
Yeah.
So this has kind of been in the books for a while.
Yeah, that all counts towards the anti-ICE kind of actions. And I think a number of people are quoting around is attacks on ICE agents have increased by 1,000%.
Yeah.
Since the new administration. So it's definitely heating up. Good thing this guy was a retard. Couldn't do anything right.
Yeah.
So that's one of the benefits of this. The left has a very deep bench of these isolated, radicalized, no upward mobility, no prospects. They got a long bench of those types. But those types also aren't very productive usually.
Yeah.
They can't usually complete the task that they want to. So that's also good for us.
Very true. And like you said, these attacks on ICE have been ramping up. Why is it happening? We're going to give you 2 reasons. One, elected representatives and officials have really bad anti-ICE rhetoric, which we're going to show you. And then the media backs them up.
Yeah.
So first, we're going to show you 2 clips. This first guy is Congressman Larson, Democrat. Listen to how he describes ICE.
This is not Germany. That's the SS and the Gestapo. This is the United States of America. Unmask yourselves.
So he calls ICE the SS Gestapo and tells them to unmask themselves, which is weird because if you unmask yourself, you can get doxxed. And if you can get doxxed, you can get attacked like in your home.
And not only you get attacked, but your family, right?
Yeah. And then this is Hakeem Jeffries saying something similar.
Every single ICE agent who's engaged in this aggressive overreach and are trying to hide their identities from the American people will be unsuccessful in doing that. This is America. This is not the Soviet Union. We're not behind the Iron Curtain. This is not the 1930s. And every single one of them, no matter what it takes, no matter how long it takes, will of course be identified.
So why do you need to identify ICE?
Yeah, I think they're doing their job.
They're doing their job.
They all have a boss. They roll up in an organization. It's not like, oh, who's that? I can't tell. He's in a mask, their boss.
He's just some guy from the street who's rolling with us.
Yeah.
So it's like you have federal officers, right? ICE is federal officers, and then you're like demanding them be publicly identified. I don't get why that would be important.
Well, the rhetoric is obviously insane, and that's what they keep reframing it as Gestapo in masks kidnapping people. Like
secret Nazis.
Every time they can make a leap to something crazy, they make the leap to something crazy. So they're masked men, instead of face covering, protecting their identity for their own safety, they're masked. As if it's the same thing as robbing a jewelry store with 20 of your homies, which we're going to get to in Urban Decay. And then they're kidnapping, as if they're not taking someone right to an ICE detention facility and getting them back to fucking Guatemala or wherever.
So true. And then the media backs up this rhetoric that we just saw. Listen to this. NBC News had an article. ICE held 5-year-old autistic girl in Massachusetts to pressure father to surrender, family says.
Yeah, and then Homeland Security replied to that and said, these smears are sick. Our ICE agents never used a 5-year-old girl as bait. The criminal illegal alien target of the operation, with previous arrests for domestic abuse, strangulation, and vandalizing property, abandoned his own child in a car.
So he just left the kid in the car.
It's a game of telephone once it gets to NBC News. Oh, a kid was left in a car. They used a bait car? A kid was bait in the car?
They put a hook in the kid.
Yeah.
So how about that?
And caught nothing. Well, and that's, you say that's the media running cover. That's the media making something up.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of thing like a robotic Discord guy sees and he goes, they held an autistic girl? Activate.
Yeah,
Go
and then
shoot a facility.
Hakeem Jeffrey says they're SS mass Nazis. I got to do something.
Yeah, what does Hassan Piker think? I better act right now.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
And how about that lying? The guy, the illegal was a violent criminal with multiple arrests, and he just abandoned the kid in the car. And then they're saying that they use it as a bait car.
Yeah, they don't message or they don't even try to fact check anything. And then there'll be some sort of fact check like a week later after the headline was seen by everybody and everybody ran with it.
And it'll be a paragraph this big. It goes, oh, actually, the guy left the car and then the ICE had to hold the baby.
Yep.
All right, let's get to our next story about more rising tensions on college campuses. We're not going to fully show this whole thing, but we are going to play it kind of fast in the background. This was an HBCU. This is Tennessee State. Two guys went out there to do a tabling session similar to Charlie Kirk, where you just say, hey, come to the table and talk about what we disagree on. And then they chimped out.
Yeah, they chimped out hard. Yeah.
They chipped out.
At the HBCU.
They pulled the signs down. They got in their face. The police had to come. A guy pulls out a screwdriver for whatever reason. And you can't really have a respectful dialogue, I guess.
They basically got ran off campus and threatened and everything, and the officers were just there to kind of make sure nobody actually got killed in the end. But yeah, it was a total chimp out, and, you know, HBCUs, which do take federal funding, not really promoting a fair exchange of ideas on campus.
Yeah.
And then Tennessee State University made a statement saying a group of individuals unaffiliated with Tennessee State appeared on campus without prior notice. In accordance with blah, 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 they said they were escorted off the premises.
And it says campus police and staff responded promptly, and the individuals were escorted from university grounds without incident. At all times, TSU students conducted themselves in a professional and respectful manner.
Just denying what's on
and here's
camera. Here's three of them flicking them off. Yeah.
So here's what they were doing.
Professional and respectful.
And it's actually ironic, but it's also sad because we have a picture here. This is what the HBCUs used to look like.
Very orderly.
People wearing sweater vests and ties and nice outfits, cardigans, and you go to the library to learn something.
A lot of wool, a lot of
now
tweed.
It's, shit.
Yeah.
Oh, red MAGA hat. Get the fuck out of here.
Oh, Sexy Red is here this weekend. Yeah, it's dark. It's dark. But, you know, and what's this guy's name? Nick Shirley? Is that his name?
I don't know if that was Nick Shirley, but Nick Shirley is up to that kind of stuff too.
All right.
All right, we're now moving on to our Charlie Kirk update section. Not a ton of stuff here. Georgetown did post this sign, "Hey Fascist Catch," which is the message that was written on one of the bullets.
Yeah, you should get black bagged by some clandestine organization if you're the one who posted this and we find you on camera, right? Like,
Gestapo, masked ICE. We got to get ICE doing that.
We need to black bag some people.
And Georgetown's a smart person's school.
Yeah.
Traditionally.
Of course. It's in D.C. It's in a nice part. It's like borderline Ivy League, you know, pretty close to it.
Pretty crazy that's what's going on. And then Hillary Clinton was on MSNBC this week, and this is what she said about the political atmosphere.
Got to stop demonizing each other.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now, I think most of that right now in our country's history is coming, you know, from the right, coming from people who want to dominate. They want their point of view. Writing out slavery from history, that doesn't make it go away. You know, we have got to stop with the finger pointing and the scapegoating.
A few moments later.
How dangerous do you view that moment to be?
I view it as very dangerous. It is right out of the authoritarian playbook, Willie. I mean, this is, you know, this is point 4 of the authoritarian playbook.
She looks good. She's getting the blood still.
It's like water. Oh yeah, she's getting the blood bags. She's got a new blood boy. But it's like water off her back. You know, she says that thing. We need to tone it down and stop demonizing each other. And then she goes right back to demonizing. But she doesn't think that's demonizing. That's just standard. That's just normal, right?
Yeah.
There's like a thing in her where she really doesn't think that this is part of it. Calling them authoritarian, calling them the Gestapo. They are kidnapping people.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You know, they truly think what she said was not logically inconsistent.
But she's playing the game too. And like we show all the chaos and then she says, "Oh yeah, mostly coming from the right." So, you know, setting up a table and saying, "Hey, have a seat and let's talk about where we disagree." And you get shot dead for it or ran off a campus.
Yeah.
But it's mostly coming from the right. Pretty crazy.
Yeah.
And then another update to the Charlie Kirk assassination story. The suspect's trans lover has vanished. Shaken neighbors share fresh fears and new photos, blah, 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 abandoned
Photos
home.
show an abandoned home. Basically, this guy got out of there.
Interesting.
He vanished. I mean, is this that interesting? I'd get the fuck out of there too.
Yeah, but he's trans.
Yeah, so what? He's a man.
Probably doing some nasty shit.
Yeah, he's probably getting down and dirty.
Wherever he goes.
Disgusting shit. Radicalizing someone else.
That's what I'm saying. He's in the chat rooms. And then you know what they talk about. Bad stuff. All right, we actually have a video which I hadn't seen until recently. This is, we're playing in the background. This is George Zinn, the guy who, after the shot happened, said he did it, so he got arrested to distract from police actually finding the real shooter.
So almost immediately as the crowd disperses, he's waving a hat and saying, "It's me, I did it." So like,
and I believe he put a banana in his pocket to look like a gun.
Is that what they're saying? I didn't see that. But
so I don't know, I'm saying, why do you have a banana with him?
He was eating? He was hungry?
Yeah, or he knew this was going to happen.
Okay.
And a lot of people are asking me, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have your own theories, like what's the most compelling theory so far? Well, unfortunately, the 30-06 shot to the neck didn't exit. Doesn't really make sense. Bounced around and ended right below the skin. Doesn't make sense. No one believes that. Alex Jones doesn't believe it. Steve Bannon doesn't believe it. All normal mainstream people don't believe it. So like that theory doesn't really work, and I hope the FBI can release some more stuff that can explain it better.
Yeah.
It doesn't really make sense to me. I would like to see the lapel mic that he had. I would like to see if that's in working order, and if that's just a normal lapel mic that fell off or whatever. I would like to see that, or if it was exploded.
Okay. All right.
That's the other side.
So
of
an
it.
exploding microphone theory that you're tiptoeing around on the show right now? You're tiptoeing around an exploding microphone theory?
It's compelling.
Okay.
It's right here. The first thing that happens is his shirt goes like this. Israel made the exploding beepers.
Okay. All right.
I'm digging, guys. I'm digging, and I'm being respectful. I'm not going to really present anything that's bad or wrong. And then even when I do present something that's wrong, like the guy who disappeared behind the tree, we corrected it. I'm happy to correct when it's wrong. But none of the presented official narrative angles make sense to me. And it does look like the shirt blew up.
Okay.
So if that mic, like the Turning Point people, they should be working hard to dispel all the conspiracies, because it doesn't really help. Like, it's not good to have everyone on your side, like, just spiraling about this.
Yeah.
So that microphone, if you just released a picture of it or said, oh, yeah, the microphone was recovered, it was in working order, nothing bad happened to it, that would put that theory to rest.
Okay.
So I'm cooking on it, guys. Don't worry about me. I'm going to, I don't know, get to the bottom of it.
You're not. I'll tell you right now.
I am going to be open to every theory, and I want to know what happened. I'm not just going to accept the FBI's word for it.
Okay.
There's one tweet here I wanted to close the Charlie Kirk section out with.
Yeah, it's from Fisher King. He said, there is some cope about the assassination of Charlie Kirk. It is not true that his murder will make us stronger. He was a unique talent in media, but also in voter turnout and registration. It's unlikely someone will achieve that same productivity. His murder made us weaker, and the left understands this in a visceral way. It's why they were celebrating in an unembarrassed way. We have to protect our top guys better. Had Trump been killed, that also would not have made us stronger.
I agree with that.
Yeah, totally.
Like, there's a lot of good things that came from it, a lot of like Christian revival stuff, which is amazing, and a lot of new Turning Point chapters, which is amazing. But we lost our top guy.
Yeah, we really did. And that's why we need to seize the moment even harder in terms of doing anything. I still don't see many signs of us seizing on the moment. I see Republican elected officials tweeting or complaining or whining.
Turn the volume down or whatever.
Yeah, and we need to be ramping things up and taking serious ground, because it'll be taken from us in a few short years, guys.
And they're going to keep killing us.
Yeah.
All right, our next story, Tucker Carlson. Can you read that?
Tucker Carlson alleges Netanyahu boasts of controlling U.S. and Trump. Conservative commentator Tucker Carlson claimed on his podcast that Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu has privately told associates he controls the United States and Donald Trump, citing unnamed sources amid U.S. foreign policy debates. This allegation, made during an interview with Glenn Greenwald on Wednesday, drew swift denials from former U.S. Ambassador to Israel David Friedman, who said he'd never heard such statements, and conservative host Mark Levin, who accused Carlson of fabrication.
Mark Levin doesn't. Oh no! What do you hate Jews? You trying to kill me? So that's not good.
Yeah.
You don't like hearing that, and it does kind of ring true, unfortunately. And then I actually found this video.
It's an unnamed sources thing. You believe it? You believe Tucker? You think he's making it up? I don't know. What do you think?
I think Netanyahu goes around saying, "I control the United States."
You know, I control them. I control
whatever
Donald
they
Trump.
want. They do it.
Yeah.
And then one last thing to close out our mini Israel isn't actually our ally section. Microsoft terminates Israeli military's access to its technology after uncovering mass civilian surveillance system violating its terms. So they're surveilling our citizens?
I guess so. And I think that's kind of a standard piece of Israeli foreign policy or whatever, is if there's a rule, break it, and you have to catch us.
Yeah, and then we
Kind
go,
of that
oh,
vibe.
sorry, there was a vulnerability and someone was going to do it, so we did it.
That's the energy I get.
That's like the George Soros energy, too.
Yeah.
Go, I shorted your currency and crashed your whole economy because there was a vulnerability, and if I didn't do it, someone else would.
Someone was going to short the pound.
Yeah.
And ruin your economic stability
So
right
that's how that works, I guess.
Yeah.
And then I found this video online. This girl is the daughter of a New Mexico senator who just went to Israel, and this is what she posted.
So my dad, a Republican state senator in New Mexico, just got back from his trip to Israel, which was not like a personal vacation, by the way. It was him and a bunch of his other Republican cronies who got invited to Israel for what I can only assume was just like a propaganda trip. So yeah, it looks like my dad and a bunch of other just like loser politicians from New Mexico went to meet with Netanyahu, and I don't know what they could possibly discuss. I mean, again, it's my dad and a bunch of other like state senators and state reps, which like, how does meeting with Netanyahu help the local people of New Mexico? But yeah, I genuinely believe that Israel is like paying my dad now to like peddle propaganda, because he also posted this like super long tweet that's like basically dissertation length that I'm not even gonna, I couldn't even take a screenshot of it and get.
She goes on to say he posted a really long thing about Israel and how they're not committing genocide and all that. So,
And how he basically sold his soul.
Yeah.
That's how she describes it. And I agree with what she said. She obviously doesn't like Republicans, and that's fine. But why are we sending 250 senators from 50 states to Israel? Why are we so obsessed with Israel?
yeah, and then that's another thing like where we always say, we're always talking about mayors who get out of line and they're talking about like racism or some big international diplomacy thing. And it's like fire, police, lights, focus on what you're focused on, what your job description is. And a New Mexico state senator isn't necessarily some sort of international relations type person.
And you go like 7,000 miles away to Israel
for a free vacation.
And then if you call it out, what, are you trying to kill us? Why do you hate? What do you hate Jews? You're a Jew hater.
And that girl's probably a little leftist. She's a little bitch, counter-signaling her dad.
Yeah, that's bad too.
But, I mean, it's real shit. And that's kind of the boomer versus younger generation divide right there, summed up.
Yeah.
Like that unconditional, unbridled support for Israel.
Israel. I don't want to think about Israel at all, and I don't want to, but we have to, because shit like that. A couple days after Charlie Kirk is killed, 250 senators from 50 states are in Israel.
If we had no migrants, way less homeless, way more people in jail, and less violent crime in the cities, you could have a little trip to Israel as a treat, guys.
Yeah.
We got a lot of domestic issues first, right?
All right, let's get to those. We're in our migrant section now. We first have a decent update for deportations.
Yeah, Tom Homan announced 2 million people have been deported or self-deported, and all of a sudden, Michelob Ultra overtakes Modelo as the #1 beer.
There's uplifting.
That's direct correlation, causation.
You could just follow that.
Yeah, that's our new index for deportations. And actually, the number that they are reporting, 2 million, 1.6 are self-deportations, and 400,000 are manual deportations from the government.
So we have some work to do, but that's good.
And we always said there exists a ratio of self-deports to manual, but I think as time goes on, like someone's not going to go like, oh, all right, I'm done. I'm tired of this.
Yeah.
And self-deport a lot of months later, like 2 years into Trump's term, there's not going to be a lot of self-deports. Although I have seen some content about people like selling their truck to Carvana and then like getting ready to go. So sometimes there are some
I feel like the
moves.
self-deportations chart is like,
yeah,
you know,
there's
like it starts out
an
strong,
initial surge, yeah,
and you don't really just change your mind.
So,
but the other numbers hopefully go up. Only 400,000, but let's get those numbers going.
Totally,
that's good to see, though. That's progress, but we're obviously not satisfied.
That's kind of the between a rock and a hard place. We are making progress and we're trending in the right direction, but it's just not enough compared to the behemoth number of people who are here illegally. Right?
Yeah. This next clip might be my favorite clip from the whole show. It's the University of Texas at Dallas stereotypes street interview.
What is the stereotype about UTD that ended up being true when you got here?
A lot of stinky people. They don't know deodorant.
The ECS buildings kind of stink, bro.
The people stink.
People here got a lot of aura.
Hella Indians, bro.
I sat next to a guy who smelled real fucking bad.
Everyone's brown.
The Asians. There's a lot of Asians here.
There's a lot of brown people here.
Before I got here, I heard that UTD stinks.
Yeah, they smell.
Everyone was kind of like nerdy.
It's very nerdy.
If you're a UTD student looking for parties and other camps.
All right, so that's what's going on.
Yeah.
Everyone is Indian and smells like shit at the University of Texas at Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
This is what's going on at our colleges.
Yeah, and we actually have the statistics on the University of Texas at Dallas enrollment by race and ethnicity. Asian, 10,000 enrolled. White, 6,300 enrolled. Hispanic or Latino, 4,200. So
20% white.
20% of the entire school is white, which is a pretty bad minority. And you know how we have, every once in a while, you see a Hispanic offender who gets listed as white on his arrest report?
Mm-hmm.
They're kind of doing something similar with Asian now. Asian is doing a lot of heavy lifting for Indian people.
Yeah, what kind of Asian are you?
Yeah, are you the Chinese or the smelly Asian?
Kimchi or schlop?
Kimchi or cook with your feet? I don't know what you're up to, but yeah. So and that's actually something we've seen. That was that good. Yeah, was that good? That's something we've seen too, where they called it Asian criminals in the UK when it's a Pakistani grooming gang, right? So separating out these races or bundling them together is a tool for hiding something or kind of like lying to you, right?
It's a very good point.
Yeah. You okay?
Yeah, with your feet.
All right, Mr. X.
All right. We have any new Mr. X stories?
Well, this came across my desk earlier today, but I heard Mr. X wears 40 by 30 pants.
I didn't hear that.
You didn't hear that?
I don't think that's accurate.
And I heard sometimes they don't even fit.
That can't be true. Is that even possible?
Really? Okay. All right. Well,
40 means
just something I heard.
It's wider this way than it is long.
Yeah, that's exactly what it means.
That's
what
insane.
I know about Mr. X. Whatever. It sounds like it's unsubstantiated.
Well, I have to ask Mr. X when I see him.
Okay.
It's like Peter Parker.
Yeah.
It's like, I
just take pictures of Mr. X.
Yeah, I'll talk to Mr. X.
Yeah.
He's coming over this weekend. I'll talk to him. I'll ask about his pants.
All right, sounds good.
What do you sound? I think he's strong. He's like a muscle guy. He's a lifter.
Yeah.
All right.
What are fart stories around Mr. X?
Well, he eats a lot of protein.
Okay.
He's a lifter.
All right.
We have an H-1B thing that I thought was pretty interesting.
Yeah, this is just kind of a follow-up. And then I'm hearing a lot about the J-1 visa, too, which is equally as abused as H-1B, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there's this big sort of thing about these high-skilled workers or whatever, and which we obviously know they aren't. We know some of the roles they're taking, like HR roles, manager roles that aren't even technical jobs.
Pickleball instructor.
Yeah, but Mark Mitchell, he said, I understand that a potentially meaningful portion of H-1Bs have valuable skills, but the Navy taught me to operate a nuclear reactor in less than 12 months. So I'm pretty sure for 99% of H-1Bs, that argument is a cop-out.
Mm-hmm.
Very good point in terms of training and keeping it in America and stuff like that. And then somebody else replied saying, they taught my grandfather how to be a doctor in like 2 years, parentheses, accelerated World War II program.
Yeah. So this idea that like they have something that we don't have, it's like, yeah, the desire to work for $4 in a decently technical job.
Yeah. A desperation so bad that you'll go to Gary, Indiana for a job, from Mumbai or something.
Mm-hmm. And we have a clip here. This is in Dearborn, Michigan. It's before the sunrise. And listen
5 a.m.
5 a.m. Listen to what's going on at 5 a.m. in Dearborn.
Call to prayer, 5 a.m. And if you complain about it at the city council meeting, they'll rush you off.
And here's something I've been kind of cooking on and thinking about.
Okay.
Phase 1, this is what happens in Europe as well. They're already done with phase 1. But phase 1 is they load you up with these third worlders.
Okay.
Violent third worlders, religious extremist third worlders, mostly men, military-age men. Phase 1 is you get loaded up. Phase 2, they fight you.
Yeah, totally.
It's kind of unfortunate. And that's what we're seeing in the UK with all the rapes.
Yeah.
And all of the murders and all the stuff. And then some people get in trouble and some people don't based on what country they're from. Phase 2 is they fight us.
Yeah.
So just unfortunately keep that in mind. We have another story here of a migrant illegal.
We're kind of bouncing around between migrants. We got the smelly Indians, the H-1Bs, we got the Muslims taking over Dearborn, and now we're back to a more traditional South American.
Yeah. And this is a illegal Lyft driver who raped and kidnapped somebody.
A rideshare driver is being held without bail, accused of kidnapping and raping a passenger in Sandy. Court documents show 26-year-old Alejandro Segovia was arrested last week. Police say the victim's friends ordered her a lift after a night of drinking on August 30th. The app told them the ride ended at her home, but security cameras didn't pick up any movement at the victim's house. So the victim's mother filed a missing persons report. Hours later, officers at the victim's home saw her walk up. She told detectives she remembers the driver pulling into a school parking lot where he began hitting himself, yelling in Spanish, and driving erratically. Surveillance video shows her in the car nearly 3 hours after being picked up. And doctors reported bruising and abrasions on her legs that are common in sexual assault cases. So,
very scary stuff, very sad stuff. But you notice how the news doesn't even say illegal? They just say, oh, he was speaking Spanish to himself.
The news doesn't even tell you the news. This is an illegal immigrant Lyft driver, which shouldn't be possible, who kidnaps and rapes an American woman in Utah, and the news doesn't even tell you the news.
Crazy.
That's where we're at in America. Like, what's the news for? Is it for just vaguely reporting in the general right direction, or is it like telling you what specifically is happening?
It's a propaganda arm for the bad guys so the bad guys can keep doing the plan.
What would make you not mention that? You'd have to almost go out of your way, which is, I guess, what they did.
And who are you protecting?
Yeah.
An illegal immigrant rapist.
Other illegal immigrants who might also want to rape someone with no consequences or something.
And there's not going to be consequences or repercussions for Lyft because all the drivers are subcontractors.
Yeah.
So there's no liability, similar to when the trucking companies hire the migrants that don't know how to drive and crash, and they don't get in trouble either.
Or it's just built into their profit model. It's just a cost of doing business. A certain amount of settlements go out each month, and they can forecast it, you know? All right, we'll pay about $20 million each month in settlements to people who either get in accidents or get assaulted. And that's just part of big business, right?
Yeah. And this next clip, it's just a quick clip, but it's to make a broader point. This is a girl going back to her apartment.
On a Ring camera.
On a Ring camera. And if she was 3 seconds slower, this African migrant type with the bag full of his stuff was right behind her.
Do whatever he wanted.
And then when that happens, then the media will come out and report, like the New York Post does here, with a euphemism, sicko rapes teen sitting on New York City park bench and second random sex attack in 2 days. You know?
That's what you'll be relegated to if you were a half second slower on that, locking that door.
Yeah.
A New York Post euphemism.
Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of how it plays out, unfortunately. Our next story, we're going to play this clip in the background. There's not much to it, but you can see people reacting. This is at a Houston baseball field. And one of the coaches there gets shot. There's shots ring out. Mm-hmm. And we find out later that the shots were shot by Mahmoud Abdulsamazam Rabababa, Ahmed Mawad, Mustafa Mohammed Matalgaga.
3 people who should not be here and should definitely not be in Texas were doing some target firing or something nearby, fucking around with guns, rights that these people shouldn't even have. You should be in some sort of militia on the back of a Toyota Tacoma or something.
On a desert, in a sand hill.
At a checkpoint, yeah.
covering your face because of sand.
That's the only reason you should have guns. You shouldn't be here in Texas. So more kids just playing, pure Americana being interrupted by pure Islamicana. And we don't fuck with that.
And we don't fuck with that at all. And they were doing like target practice, but not safely, where you're just like, you shoot into a thing with a thing behind it.
My target? I don't know, Muhammad.
Just aim for the paper.
Aim for the
It'll stop there. Yeah. And then you shot into a baseball field with kids.
Yep. So stories like this, twice a week, every week, guys.
Yeah.
A Lyft driver, an illegal rapist, migrants who shoot kids. Everyone smells at this university now.
Everyone smells like shit.
It's kind of crazy how the volume of stories that are coming out.
And when we make the show, have we ever been like, damn, we need to find a migrants clip?
They come to us.
We 30% we don't even use because the whole show would be an hour in the migrant section.
You know how many European migrant clips we throw away? It's unbelievable.
A lot. All right, our last American migrant clip. This is just in the migrant section because it's like the Free Palestine people, foreign blood feuds on American soil, and it's getting in the way of this Amazon driver's day.
Suck my dick! Shut up! Suck my dick! Shut up! Suck my dick! Suck my dick! That's why you running! That's why you running! Suck my dick! Suck my dick! Hurry the fuck up! Hurry 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 up!
Pretty good. They're repeating.
So you get it. Eventually it escalates. Cops get involved and kind of nothing happens. But a trend I'm noticing when we're sourcing clips for Urban Decay, Migrants, whatever, we're seeing an increased volume of footage of beefs between two groups that I hate both sides of. Like the hood Amazon Prime delivery driver who's repeating versus the Free Palestinian protesters. I'll flip a coin on which side I'm on. Neither. The Free Palestinian protesters versus white people in traffic. Mexicans on Mexican Independence Day versus the black people in Chicago. Black people versus, any random group. Black people.
Black people. Black people versus Chinese food lady. Black people versus the delivery guy. Black people versus the teacher.
So not only is it ethnic third world blood feuds, which we're talking about, but I don't even like either side of it.
Mm-hmm.
And so it could be Indians versus Pakistanis on the streets of Manhattan or something. I'm constantly disconnected from what I'm seeing on my screen, and this type of shit is happening in America, right?
Very true.
Dark.
All right, should we exit our migrant section or should we do these UK stories?
How are we doing on time? You're the time conscious one.
It's going to be over an hour in housekeeping.
We'll put them in bonus land then.
All right, we'll put them in bonus land. More reason to join. FleckisTalks.com is the website. There is a new bonus land dropping tomorrow at 11 a.m. So if you're looking for a 30-minute episode that comes out tomorrow, FleckisTalks.com is the website. We're now moving on to the final page of housekeeping. Use the opportunity to tickle the post, help us juice the algo, pickle the toast, help us juice the algo, and pickle the toast.
There you go.
Like all the stuff, comment, subscribe. Don't make me say it.
Okay.
All right, we have some news. Final page of housekeeping. I'm going to kind of cook today. As you guys can see, it's pretty stacked. I got some good shit.
All right.
First things first, the show is international. We got Fleckis in German.
Fleckis spricht.
Fleckis Spanish. We're speaky Spani.
Fleckis habla.
Speaky Spani. Yeah. We got French. Je parle un petit peu de français.
Okay.
Je voudrais un grand sandwich avec le fromage et le jambon et le moutarde.
What? That's something about you had a sandwich, jambon. Is that ham?
I would like a big sandwich with ham.
Yeah.
Moutarde is mustard. Fromage is cheese. I know how to say some shit.
There you go. Yeah, you know how to order food.
And the key
quickly. That was the first lesson. It wasn't help. Help me. It's how do I order the food? How do I order the ham sandwich?
How do I order a big ham sandwich?
That sounds good.
And also with French, to sound like you know what you're talking about in French, everyone thinks you say, oh, oui. They say way.
Okay.
It's like instead of saying yes, you say yeah. So it's like, oh, way.
Spanish has something like that too. I think they always say claro.
Oh, way. And then Portuguese. I don't know how to even imitate Portuguese.
Spanish, but a little different.
Yeah?
Spanish with a little flavor from Brazilians.
Yeah. I don't really care for that.
Conjugate their verbs a little differently and stuff like that.
Yeah.
A lot of the nouns are the same, and
that's enough.
I don't think anybody's going to fucking watch this stuff. But we do have it in German if you're
But it's
interested.
there.
If you have a German friend, you know, I don't feel like we'll be big in Portuguese. Maybe German. Maybe German has some right-wing people who want to get in on it.
We'll see.
French, there's probably some right-wing
So it's
French.
on the homepage, the YouTube homepage. If you scroll to the bottom, there's like affiliated channels. We have all those.
All right, sounds
Let's get to our next thing. Someone tweeted a question. We're going to have an answer.
Fleckus and Ratboy settle an argument we're having in my house. When you say guys who can't bench 135 pounds are women, how many reps are we talking here? A full set or just one rep?
Okay, if you're under 150, it's one rep. Not under 150, it's one rep, but get the weight up.
Get the weight up, yeah.
And then if you're 150 or over, it needs to be your first set warm up.
Yeah.
And you can basically bench it as many times as you want. First thing you do when you get to the
People do
bench.
hit a ceiling. I mean, you can't go 50. 50
You know,
probably. Yeah.
well, it means you go like this.
I know. Yeah.
And it goes cling, 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 cling.
You need to be
you're
repping
bouncing it.
Yeah, you need to be repping it.
And it should be your first set on bench. So that's standard. You go to the bench, you do 135, then you do 185, then you do 225, then you do 275. And I don't know what you guys do after that.
Yeah.
All right. Next, the MLB is going to be using. Can you read the headline?
MLB to use robot umpires to call balls strikes next season from the AP.
So you see how they do that, guys? Remember they brought in Jen Powell?
The woman umpire?
The woman umpire.
Is that her name?
I think so.
You remembered her name?
Yeah.
Jen Powell.
I don't know. It sounds something like that. They brought in the woman umpire. She has the worst umpire calling record in the whole league.
Like 90%.
It's 90%, which is bad. So this is kind of how they do it. Like they do some DEI political correct thing to ruin it. And then they go, oh, we'll just fix it with AI. We'll just have AI call it perfectly. Yeah. So they ruin your thing with DEI or political correctness. And then they offer you the solution. Oh, we'll just use AI and it's perfect. You want perfect, right? That's what you're calling for. And that's also what they're going to do with Ubers. Oh, you're getting raped by your Uber driver from El Salvador?
Yeah.
Oh, we'll just get robots.
Driverless cars.
Driverless cars. You're good.
Yeah, they ruin it with DEI and globalism, too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that counts as globalism.
Globalism, DEI.
Truck drivers, it's a similar trajectory.
Putting a woman in a man's thing.
Yes.
And then they go, oh, yeah, it doesn't work. All right, well, we'll just do driverless cars and we'll just use AI. So that's kind of how they do it. And I want you guys to understand that process. They ruin something and then the solution they offer is technocratic.
Absolutely.
And speaking of AI, I had a realization the other day. I think a big chunk of COVID and why they even did it was so they could test their facial recognition apps to see if they can still recognize people even with the mask on.
Oh, okay.
So there's an opportunity to say, all right, let's see how good this AI facial recognition shit is. Everyone's got a mask on. Does it still work? And I'm sure it still did.
Okay.
Next, they body swapped Seacrest.
Who would be your dream residency Vegas?
Well, my dreams are coming true. Mariah's doing it, right? So that would be a good one. Yes, the Mariah Christmas one.
We don't need to show what he says, but they kind of body swapped him.
Yeah.
You see, that's a different guy.
Little Ozempic or something like that. Little weight loss stuff. Got the green eyes still.
But look at left Seacrest's neck.
Yeah.
And look at right Seacrest's neck.
Well, he got older. He got skinnier, I think.
But that left neck, he was like I'm a guy.
Yeah.
And then this is some sort of bot.
Okay, that's fair.
And then the Seacrest bot, all he does is make content all day. He's not even a real person.
Okay, yeah.
Something to think about. And they also swapped, what's his name? Simon Cowell. Last week we showed that.
Yeah, so they're going one by one through all the old American Idol people, making sure that they get swapped. Who's the fat black guy?
Ruben Studdard?
No, the judge. The judge.
It's a no for me, dog.
Yeah, Randy. It's Randy or something.
Yeah.
You know what my favorite thing is? American Idol. You know, there's like the guy who sold Apple at its lows and he'd be worth $10 billion now. Ryan Seacrest was a co-host on season 1 with some other guy, and he held out for like a higher contract, and he's just never heard from again. Totally
that was a big
useless.
mistake.
Seacrest is like borderline billionaire now. He produces everything.
He hosts Wheel of Fortune.
Does he?
Yeah, he took Pat Sajak's job.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't watch
every
Wheel,
day.
So I missed that.
I'm telling you, he is a content bot.
Okay. Oh, that makes sense now a little more. I was kind of brushing you off and just thought you were making a joke.
He does a routine.
Content bot. Now I get it.
Yeah. He does a routine where he wakes up, I think, at like 4 a.m. and then does like a morning radio show. And then he does like an afternoon radio show, and I think he does. And then he's on Wheel of Fortune at night, which is obviously not live.
Well, Wheel of Fortune and like is exactly a show like Ridiculousness, where you come into a studio for 3 hard weeks and you film 100 episodes.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So that's actually such an easy life. I wish we could do that model in some ways. Like you just show up, crank them out, and then you never talk about politics, current events, anything.
It's so good.
It could be the day after 9/11 and there's going to be a Wheel episode and they won't acknowledge it.
That's
so crazy.
Next, Donald Trump was seen using this wallpaper. This was something that I've posted on my story of Trump with the diamond teeth and the chain smiling.
It's got to be fake, right?
I think it's real.
I think you fell for something.
I think it's real. Someone confirmed that. All right. This is where I'm really going to cook. Illuminati card game came out in the 90s, right?
Okay.
Can you read those first 3 and tell me if anything sticks out to you?
Terrorist nuke, Pentagon, epidemic.
So terrorist nuke is the Twin Towers, and this came out in the 90s. Pentagon is the Pentagon. This came out in the 90s. And pandemic or epidemic, this came out in the 90s. So that's crazy, right?
What's this game called again?
The Illuminati card game.
Okay.
And I have a bunch of decks. Like I've ordered them before.
Okay.
And then there's a card in the deck called Enough is Enough. And who does that look like on the card?
Kind of like Trump.
And then what does the card say?
At any time, at any place, our snipers can drop you. Have a nice day.
Okay. Enough is enough. It looks like Trump. And at any time, any place, our snipers can drop you. And this is from a card game from the 90s. And this is Charlie Kirk's last YouTube short post before he died.
Oh, enough is
and it's
enough.
Trump making basically the same face, and it says, enough is enough.
Wow.
I don't want to get too crazy and too conspiratorial, but also in Snake Eyes, which I mentioned on a couple episodes ago, Snake Eyes, a movie from 1998 with Nicolas Cage, which I just watched like 2 weeks ago. Very good movie. Charles Kirkland gets shot in the neck, a political assassination on September 10th.
So
and one of the boxers' name is Tyler, and Tyler Robinson, Tyler the boxer, and Tyler was in on it, causing a distraction. He did a phantom punch. Everyone paid attention, and then the gunshot came. So Tyler was a distraction in Snake Eyes, September 10th. Kind of crazy, kind of crazy. The Illuminati Freemasons, they do have insight into the future, and they know what events are coming in the future.
Just casually.
And then they write movies that rhyme with the future, so it is more palatable for us.
27 years later, and then they act on it. They sit on it for 27 years, and then they hit it.
And that's how The Simpsons does it too.
It's probably like Charlie Kirk was probably 3 years old.
He probably wasn't even born yet. Maybe
probably 3.
Yeah, you're right. But that's what I'm saying. The Freemasons, they have insights into the future. I don't know if it's an orb. I don't know if it's a guy who knows everything. And that's how they do it. That's how The Simpsons do it. That's how this happens.
All right. I'm not going to counter signal you. Have at it. Have fun.
Thank you.
No problem.
And
wasn't the World Trade Center attacked in 92 or 91?
Yeah.
So that's kind of reasonable, right? And then pandemic or epidemic, that's like a known thing. People, epidemiologists are always preparing for something, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, where's your coincidence radar? Where's your coincidence, or I'm seeing the signs?
Enough is kind of crazy.
Not really. Enough is enough is a very common phrase, right? Yeah. I guess I am going to counter signal you a little bit.
Yeah, but this is how the world works, brother.
I disagree.
It's all a coincidence.
Have fun.
All right, well, that's the end of our final page of housekeeping. We're now moving on to Cringe of the Week. All right, Cringe of the Week. We have some trans shit to start Cringe off. We have a story of a delusional, crazy person who has guns. We're going to start there and work our way all the way to trans sports.
Yeah, this is just some Reddit poster who's posting all of these. Conservatives try to take rights away from trans people to own guns. Come and take it. And posing in this gay little pose with an assault rifle. Yeah, trans. And then, but just a little bit later, or a little bit earlier, I guess, the same person had posted about how they were dealing with severe depression and suicidal thoughts for a long time.
Good.
So that's the kind of person who's having this gun. Someone else commented saying every committed anarchist should have these things, including the rifle. And this same person's socialist femboy said, "Thanks, my fellow comrade. Together we will all do great things to combat violence against human rights and those that don't have a voice. both revolutionary and politically. By the way, fuck fascists and fuck bigots that want you to stay in old ideologies. Let's see what these youngins can do as someone who is in their late 20s, early 30s. And then someone said the trenches in this new civil war are going to be strange looking. And they said LMFAO. And someone else made some jokes, which we don't really need to repeat.
Yep, we don't need to repeat.
Dildos on the bayonets, stuff like that. Weird sex shit, crime, anarchy, fantasies.
Weird sex pervert shit.
Hello, Cash Patel?
Yeah.
Right here.
Got one.
This one. Go. Start pulling.
Check the hard drive.
Yeah. Let's do a raid here. This is the type of person who needs it.
And this next clip is another person who's this type of person.
You get on the train.
And this is who you're sitting next to. Trans nut.
Trans nut visualizing mowing you down with so much veracity that they're drooling from their mouth as they're grinning at shooting you down.
Yeah.
That's who's on the subway.
These are the types.
Yeah.
And we have another trans freak out here. This guy set up a homeless table to give food to homeless people who need a meal. And look who shows up.
Hey, asshole! Can you do something about the fucking people are out here about to fucking assault me? Can you wake the fuck up and use your fucking eyes, please? Can I have the same liberty as everyone else?
I'm not the police. I'm sorry. I'm not.
Real good trans freak out.
So this visible man dressed with midriff open, I guess, thinks that the homeless people are going to sexually assault him? Is that the expectation?
And he's mad that the guy who's giving food to the homeless people isn't going to defend a lady.
Yeah.
Where's chivalry?
I know. Whatever happened to chivalry in 2025?
Pretty crazy. And then there's a trans volleyball story we covered a while ago, but there is an update to it. A lot of the teams in the trans league are not playing the trans team.
In the trans league?
In the transes league.
Yes.
The trans persons league.
Jerupa Valley High School girls volleyball team is desperately trying to find opponents as Patriot High School becomes the 8th school to refuse to play against their transgender star. Girls teams are refusing to play against the trans player A.B. Hernandez. According to Outkick, who attended a game, A.B. Hernandez's advantage is so clear and obvious that several members of the opposing team's supporters were visibly upset by it. According to a new lawsuit launched by 3 current and former volleyball teammates, Hernandez placed his hands on female players. Beyond the locker room, AH engaged in unwelcomed and offensive contact, including slapping and or placing his hands on female players' buttocks, including the plaintiffs, during practices, games, and huddles, the lawsuit alleges.
Good job, bitch.
Good job, bitch. Nice set. Nice set on that. And I broke that bitch's jaw.
Grabbing asses.
Yeah. So, but that's great to see. 8 full teams have just fully said, no.
Nah.
We'll miss this one. And then can you imagine being the girl or the guy pretending to be a girl being like, hey guys, Patriot High School just canceled. And it's like, you look around like, is anyone getting really mad at me?
Yeah.
Like, we're missing 8 games a year at least because of you.
But then the team with the trans player can't just get rid of him?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Like everyone else wants to play. There's like 10 other girls on the team. Can't we just say, sorry, Johnny?
I imagine the coach is an ideologically motivated type.
F-slur
type, yeah.
And then we have this lady here who is taking the other side of the trans sports debate.
If your daughter doesn't want to compete against trans women in sports, maybe your daughter just shouldn't play sports. Ever thought about that? Maybe she just doesn't have that competitive spirit. Maybe she's just mediocre. Maybe she's not that good. Because you know what? There are cis women that beat out the boys every single freaking day. So if your daughter is making all of these excuses because she thinks that a trans woman has biological advantages over her, which is probably brainwashing that you cause, if she's complaining about the biological advantages that trans women have, she's going to complain about the biological advantages that cis women have, okay?
No.
No, she's not. And then notice how this is just like a pure appeal to emotion / shame. It's not like, here's a bunch of statistics rattling off how the trans women actually do.
Yeah, here's the data that proves that everyone's playing on an equal playing field.
It's not even a good argument. It's just like a weird guilt, shame, like you should feel bad about it. It has nothing to do with facts or stats or anything. And there's a vague reference to girls beat boys all the time. And it's like, so where's that happening? Like a reporter coming to fact check
We
that?
showed middle school boys beating WNBA players. So that's obviously not happening. And then couldn't this woman give this speech to the trans player playing against the girls And, wouldn't it apply to him where it's like, oh, yeah, you can't compete against the guys. Maybe you're just mediocre.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that, of course, that would be like the appropriate place. So you got it completely backwards.
That's why we're in backwards and upside down world with that one, because she's giving a lecture that affects 30,000 women in a given area, and it might only affect 2 men.
Yeah.
And it's like, who should we have a hard discussion with? Probably the 2 men.
Yeah. Tell it to the girl with the broken spine who had the ball spiked in her face. Remember that?
Yeah, of course.
All right, let's move on to...
Some girl had a huge concussion. Still has headaches to this day.
All right, let's move on to our next trans type. Is it really lesbian Subaru pastor?
No, that's just what I labeled it.
Okay, I thought that was her pastor name. All right, let it play.
I do want to give a little note about our scripture readings this morning. They are some of my least favorite. This is like my least favorite Sunday. And I specifically want to draw attention, just a content note, to the fact that we have one reading that talks about enslaving people without actually telling us not to. Don't like that. And we have another reading that has a verse about pick up your cross and follow me, which is fine but has been misused to tell people to stay in terrible situations. So, content note for those readings today. If those are things that make you uncomfortable, as they probably should, please know that we will be deconstructing some of that in our sermon in the context of God's unconditional love for all people. So you can do whatever you need to do to care for yourself while those are read, but know that we'll be doing some little deconstructing work.
Yeah, so she's going to be deconstructing the Bible so it doesn't go against the norms of the world.
Yeah.
I don't think you're supposed to do that.
That's the opposite of what you're supposed to do.
And then maybe we'll get to, why are all the apostles men?
Basically,
why no non-binary folks in the apostles?
Basically like a trigger warning for reading the Bible from the lesbian Subaru pastor.
Pretty bad. Mm-hmm. All right, let's go on. We're going to bounce through these next 2 clips kind of fast, but they are good. Ben Affleck's daughter is a retard.
Has a lot of time on her hands.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the ongoing pandemic, our present is being stolen right in front of our eyes. For adults, the relentless beat of back to normal, ignoring, downplaying, and concealing both the prevalence of airborne transmission and the threat of long COVID, manifested in a series of choices. Young people lacked both real choice in the matter and information about what was being chosen for us.
Whatever, she'll be trans soon.
Yeah, I'll give her 3 months. Imagine being Jennifer Garner mixed with Ben Affleck and then caring about masks and covering your face. Aren't they like hot people? And that's what you're up to.
Like hot A-list celebrities that got together and made a kid.
What should I do? Cover my face, my famous A-list face that can almost guarantee me millions of dollars a year if I play it right and start acting young. What should I do? I'll get obsessed with masking. Fucking retard.
And then it's like everyone at this point realizes COVID was a scam because of how it's just not around anymore and we moved on. Mm-hmm. And then they've almost like accepted that. Like the bad guys are like, yeah, well, we got you for a couple of years.
That's part of the psychology of it, is the people need to cling on because they don't want to admit they were bamboozled or it was all for nothing.
Exactly.
That's part of the psychology.
So she's still in the old way of like, oh, we're at phase 16 now. This is the iteration 16 of COVID. No one's paying attention. Everyone's going to die.
And this is a girl who was young and who was in school during 2020, so definitely got at least peace, maybe a year and a half, especially given she's probably in California, at least got a year or 2 stolen from her. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but we can't cook her too hard because Affleck is a show watcher.
Yeah, Affleck, we're sorry this is happening to you, Ben.
He confided,
call us later.
He confided in us, and he's like, look what this fucking retard kid's doing. And we go, all right, can we put it on the show? And he's like, yeah, I don't care.
Yeah,
just don't tell anyone about this.
Yeah.
Just don't tell anyone about that. We talk in a group chat. Okay.
All right, Ben.
All right, our last clip of Cringe of the Week. This is a line of people at a food bank.
Can see where the food is being handed out. After 50 minutes of waiting, we're to the front of the line. We're home. Let's take a look at what we came back with. 10 pounds of peaches, 3 half gallons of milk, 12 pounds of grapes, chocolate, eggs, tortillas, all kinds of yogurt, overnight oatmeal, plenty of meat, 5 pounds of chicken, breakfast sausage, ground pork, ham steak, tuna fish, chicken breast, chicken tenderloins, 2 macaroni and cheese, oatmeal, egg noodles, all kinds of canned fruits and vegetables, peanut butter, and applesauce.
EBT, food bank lines where you get this spread. Am I the only dumb fuck buying my own shit?
It's starting to look that way, yeah. I go out there and I buy fucking everything. I get nothing. I should be stealing from hotel breakfast or something.
Yeah.
At this point.
These
Look at these
people
cars.
have nice cars.
Cars are nicer than me.
Jeep. There's another one.
Yeah.
These are all like 2020 and above cars.
Is this just people who are terrible with money and they're like, guess I got to hit the food bank? My car payment and insurance that I financed is $600 a month.
If this is the food bank, I'll go to the food bank.
I know. That's crazy. And this is Florida, definitely.
10 pounds of peaches? How many peaches are there?
Yeah.
You got 1,000 pounds of peaches?
I haven't had 10 pounds of peaches ever. I've never held 10 pounds of peaches.
You eat 10 pounds of peaches like that?
I guess this is, and
12 pounds of grapes? 12 pounds of grapes?
There should be a food bank, but what the hell?
12 pounds of grapes? 10 pounds of peaches and 12 pounds of grapes?
I can't catch a break. I pay for shit and then it goes bad.
I don't even eat the shit I get. I have to put the meat in the freezer. That's
what do we do?
bad.
What do we do?
I don't even want to say what I'm thinking of saying. It starts with N.
That's a verb? Starts with N and it's a verb?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm getting N-worded.
Yes.
All right, let's move on to Urban Decay. All right, our first clip of Urban Decay is some urban youths dodging the fare system in the New York City subway. They just jump over, and there's
Parkour
cops
style.
right there, and they open the gate, and they all run in, and there's cops right there.
Nobody stops them.
And nobody stops them.
Cops don't spring into action.
At all. And it sucks, and New York City is becoming Gotham City, and we need Batman.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, this is something we discussed in Bonus Line the other day, in the new Batman fights white nationalists.
Batman will be beating up white nationalists in the upcoming comic special. And here's a picture of him against the white hooded pitchfork and tiki torch crowd.
Yeah, but in reality, he'd be mostly beating up black guys like this in New York City.
225. Boom. And they go, no fair jumping. And they body slam him.
Yeah, that would be...
Leave their trachea like all fucked up.
They would be coming after Batman because of racial bias.
Yeah.
90% of Batman's victims are black.
Yeah, and then this is a topic we've obviously covered on the show before, but since we've had 300 episodes almost, we want to reiterate it. The criminal comorbidity, let's call it, of fare jumpers, like the amount of fare jumpers who have an open warrant or who are behind on child support, it's just like such a high correlation that it's one of the best ways to find open warrants and help arrest real criminals, right?
That's very true.
Antisocial behavior.
Yep, that's the key. And a lot of people say, well, the cops have their hands tied, they can't really do anything. And that's true, but I have a little list here of things you can do. What if you put the handcuffs on them really, really tight?
Yeah.
And it pinches their skin.
Make them not want to get that again.
What if while you're handcuffing them, you snap their finger? What if while they're handcuffed and going up the stairs, you just accidentally trip and then you push them face first into the stairs?
All right. I hope you're doing a joke, but you're talking about a lot of abuse here.
What if you sneezed and didn't cover it all the way, had chew and just spit in their face?
Whoa. Now you're talking.
Well, the cops can't do anything. They'll be back on the street in an hour. What if it's a really bad hour?
Make it uncomfortable for them. I agree with you there. I'm not suggesting snapping fingers.
Put ants in your car.
Ooh.
And you get pulled over and you get in the back of the car and you get bit by ants. You don't want to get arrested because they're,
Yeah, we're making it too easy. I get what you're saying. You're not your best ideas, a little sadistic, but we need to make it not that fun. So
pinching them
pisses me off. Like the guy just commits a crime in front of the cops, and yeah, it's not that bad of a crime, but nothing. You don't think that emboldens them to go try something else soon?
It's like sad.
Yeah.
And it's not, there's good cops and it's not the cops, but it's just how the system currently is. Next, we have a lady here giving the dog a haircut in the subway station.
He's buzzing the dog right there. I'm sure she cleans up the hair and puts it in a bag and takes it away.
Oh, yeah.
She looks like the type, that fat black lesbian type.
Yeah. She cleans up after. And you know what the cops will say?
What?
Well, as long as she doesn't cut more than 3 dogs' hair with a combined weight of over 100 pounds, we can't do anything.
Yeah, there'll be some law tying them up.
And it's ironic, too, because dog grooming is kind of like a, I don't want to say classy thing, but it's like a...
Shows a level of care. Or
a level of care, and, you know, most bad dog owners would just not groom their dog ever and get matty hair. So it's like, on one hand, it is almost like a classy, high-level thing where you take care of your dog's hair, and on the other hand, you're doing it in public and leaving the hair on the ground.
Yeah, it's funny I agree with that. Like keeping your dog groomed or running a groomer business is a typical white person, white-coated thing. Same with dog breeding in general. Now the urban types are getting into dog breeding too, and they breed those little stocky freaks who can't even breathe, die in their first 3 months.
Yeah.
So they're coming over, but they're not doing it in a classy way.
Very true. And then our next example of bad subway behavior, this lady is shaving her feet.
She's got the heel Parmesan cheese grater, and she's peeling her dead skin off her heel right onto the floor of the subway.
You got a problem with her being hygienic?
Yeah, I can't do this at home. I got to do it here.
It's nasty. I don't want this in my house.
She leaves it right on the ground, much like the dog hair left. So the subway, they're fair jumping, they're littering. And
this is my cousin, hygienic.
Yeah.
Hey, call hygienic.
You know, I do that. I do the shaved heel.
On the subway? No.
I do the Parmesan cheese grater in my bathroom.
That's kind of gross. My heels aren't blown out like that.
They get cracked. They'll get disgusting if I don't do it, so I got to do it. What can I do?
You did a heel peel once, too.
I did
Your
a
whole
foot
foot
peel.
came off.
Yeah, I did a foot peel. That's part of it. I thought it would help me.
There's like 2 types of people in this world. People who need to shave their heels and people who don't.
I'm like a horse. You gotta trim the hooves.
All right, our last piece of bad subway behavior is pretty self-explanatory. This guy's just, wiping his ass on the pole?
I think he's getting off on it, yeah. He's wiping his ass on exactly where your hand goes, too. He got up on the chair. He could have done it and gone low.
He's doing it on multiple poles.
Yeah.
And yeah, it probably feels good, but do this at your own house.
Yeah. Well, that's just to get it. I don't know.
We had to blur his butt a little bit because we can't just show butt.
And then notice,
you guys know what happened.
And then notice the street rat, dirty dreads, typical sign of a street rat, right?
Yeah.
So
he's taking a break in between stabbing people in the neck.
So that's what's going on in the subway. Stealing, littering, ass play.
Dog haircuts.
Yeah, bad.
All right, let's go to California for a clip. 25 people robbed $1 million worth of jewelry from a jewelry store. Here they come, rolling in, guns drawn.
2 with the guns. They got 2 gunmen, and then the rest with pickaxes, crowbars.
These are like mining tools.
I know. It's the new California gold rush. Looting a jewelry store with 25 of your best friends.
And a pickaxe. Where are you headed?
They got to break the glass. Yeah, where you headed?
I'm gonna go rob a jewelry store.
Yeah. It's too stupid to even come up with an excuse. And they go out into 4 waiting cars.
Perhaps and they roll out.
Yeah.
But ICE agents need to take their masks off.
Yep.
Not these guys.
Mm-hmm.
ICE agents do.
Totally.
And then you also can't have more than a 10-round magazine in your gun in California.
Make it make sense, guys.
And here's where you would need it. And it's crazy also because California has so many cameras, and I believe there's a system that unites all the cameras. So you could follow these guys on camera from the jewelry store basically to wherever they go. And if you wanted to get them and track them down, you really could. But they don't want to.
Yeah.
Because that's not the goal. And we have some stats here. California, #1 in homelessness, #1 in poverty, addiction, gas prices, income tax, gas tax, budget deficit, retail theft, citizen exodus, COVID mandates, school closures, COVID blah, 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 illegal immigration, funding illegal immigration, illiteracy, wage stagnation, all that stuff. So California is cooked.
And you know, there's also a complementary portion to this where like all these young black visible criminals have to pawn this stuff. So there's like a illegal pawn shop on the other side of this too, who just turns the other way or goes, I'll melt it down. I'll give you scrap value. And then he lowballs them anyway.
These guys are entrepreneurs. They have multiple businesses.
Yeah.
Got the pickaxe business.
He keeps stumbling into gold jewelry. I don't know how he does it.
He's
a lucky kid.
So you got the pickaxe business, then you got the driving business to get away.
Yeah.
Then you got the pawning, melting.
Yeah, the new California gold rush. You know what they say? Like in the gold rush, the people who sold the pickaxes, they became the wealthiest, and now they're back to pickaxes for gold again.
They probably steal the pickaxes from like Home Depot.
Totally.
All right, and here's the thing. Like we said, you could track these 25 guys down and basically arrest all of them, but they don't. Why don't they? This next tweet is probably my favorite piece of the whole show.
Yeah, and this was just a random reply to this video from the Beacon Signal. That's his @ We'll give him credit since it's such a long read. But he says, this isn't just a robbery, it's a broadcast. 25 masked men, perfect camera angle, $1 million headline, and a caption that says, you can't stop this. They don't want justice. They want submission through spectacle. Every viral crime video is a black magic ritual, not to punish the guilty, but to program the innocent. You think you're watching looters, but the real theft already happened. They stole your sense of order and replaced it with ritualized chaos. And when you scroll past enough of these, you don't even flinch, you just accept it. Like this is what life is now. This isn't crime. It's consent manufacturing through repetition. It's not about the $1 million. It's about the frequency they just installed in your nervous system. This is spiritual terrorism, packaged for clicks, streamed like sports, and blamed on policies they already planned to fail. Because if you believe no one's coming to help you, you'll never remember that you were the one who was supposed to stop it. This was never about Newsom. It was about making you numb.
Which is real talk.
Yeah, totally. I agree with that. There's a certain desensitization that's happening where you see it and you go, why aren't they stopping it? Why aren't they stopping this? It's happening everywhere. And the point is to kind of desensitize you to that anarcho-tyranny that we've been kind of reporting on for the whole time.
Yeah,
right?
and it makes it the norm, and you get used to it, and then this is just what living in a city's like.
Yeah. You grow to expect just black people brutally beating up someone. That's what's going to happen. They kick you in the head when you're down. The jewelry store, well, they got insurance, right? Mm-hmm. There's a desensitizing that happens if you consume enough Urban Decay, and I assume that's happened in some part to all of you watching.
Yeah.
So...
All right, our final clip from Urban Decay. This woman gets a warning from a cop, and she still accuses him of racism, even though he's black.
Okay. Then that means you're speeding. So can you do me a favor and please slow down? Okay. All right. Now you have a nice day. I have a nice day every day. Okay. So he want to be TikTok famous today. I'm going to put him on TikTok so y'all can see how the police officers be moving and shaking. If I was a white woman, he wouldn't say nothing to me. But since I'm a black woman, he don't have nothing else to do. So let me go ahead and make him...
So she makes it about racism, even though he saw you speeding before he even saw who you were.
And he let you off with a warning, but white woman would have he would have handed them $100 or something.
Yeah. And you could even argue that he was black, and because you were black, he gave you a warning.
Affirmative racism. He helped you out. He helped a sister out, if you will. And you just see that oppositional defiant energy. Okay, I have a good day every day. It's like, are you just such a total bitch that you don't even recognize looking a gift horse in the mouth and then being a bitch to it? Like
the cop said,
this guy could have cost you $180 right now, and he still can.
And he literally said, can you please slow down? I'm letting you off with the warning. Like, he's being nice, but anything less than like sucking up to them or not pulling them over at all is racism.
Yeah.
And
he should be escorting you to your ghetto party you're going to, or whatever the fuck, the stupid brunch with Hennessy that you're going to.
Yeah, he should be escorting you to your fat loud
Follow me,
brunch.
ma'am. Follow me, ma'am, to your fat loud brunch.
You got a fat loud brunch to get to.
Breaker, come in. We got a fat loud brunch. I'll be late for that homicide.
And notice how she changed up the wording too. Instead of saying you stopped me because I'm black, that doesn't work because he was a black cop. So instead she said you stopped me because I'm not white.
Yeah. It's a little wordplay. It's
a little wordplay. And, if you're looking to be a victim, you can find a reason to be one at every turn.
Oh, yeah.
All right, well, don't get too down or too depressed. We're now moving on to Uplifting Gold. All right, our first clip of Uplifting Gold. Kathy Hochul was booed at the Ryder Cup on Long Island.
Your friend and mine in attendance, Governor Kathy Hochul. Governor, thank you so much for being here. And thank you to your team, too, for getting us ready for the Ryder Cup in New York.
Boo, everyone hates you.
That's right. Golf is a right-wing sport. Get fucked.
And Long Island, too.
What course is that? Do you know?
Bethpage Black.
Oh, that's on Long Island? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
It's a long course. They give you a warning beforehand. I don't think there's carts either.
Yeah. And they
You
say
might
it's
get a
really
caddy.
hard.
It's
And you have to
really-
like wake up at 2 a.m. to get in line.
Wait in
and
line.
Stuff.
I never did it.
You never played there?
I think I played a different course. There's I think Black is the one that they're playing, and I never played Black.
Gotcha. Speaking of New York area politics, there's 2 governor races coming up.
New Jersey and New York.
No, in Virginia.
In Virginia, but New Jersey could go red. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, and I just heard something come out, and I haven't been paying too much attention to it. I just know they're polling relatively close.
43% for both in New Jersey right now.
And the Democrat just had a scandal where she like got kicked out of the Naval Academy or something. Or like kind of said, hey, oh yeah, I'm a Navy Academy graduate, but then she wasn't allowed to walk at graduation as part of some sort of cheating scandal. So I think, there might be a chance there. All the New Jersey watchers, make sure you get your friends, I think Virginia has a race that's like a bad race. Like Glenn Youngkin is a Republican, and then Winsome Sears is running as a Republican, and I don't think she's that strong.
Yeah.
So New Jersey would be nice. That would be a nice flip.
That would be a great flip.
You know what? We see it at the national level, right? Like it flips back and forth, Republican, Democrat, power kind of shifts. New Jersey hasn't tried a red governor since what? Chris Christie?
Yeah.
Let's give it a try. Let's try it out.
It'd be nice.
I'm actually surprised, Chris Christie. I thought it was going to be a longer time, but yeah, Chris Christie.
Fat
fuck.
Fat pig.
Hey, you want to talk about Mr. X wearing 40-30s? Chris Christie, probably 50-28.
I think it's probably 56-28.
Yeah, something bad.
Something bad.
All right, let's get to it.
All right, next, trash can jousting.
Oh my God.
And last week we showed horse jousting.
That's how you get hurt really, really, really bad. You see how much plastic shit exploded because of that?
Yeah.
These guys were not prepared.
And that was probably the first one.
Yeah.
So we have a whole line. Everyone get in line.
Nope.
It's like, that's the last one.
Nope.
All right, this next clip is from the Bathurst estate, I believe, in England. Look what they got. They're doing hedge work.
The hedge is a very important part of the
Look at
town
that.
and to visitors to the mansion, and the hedge is in the Guinness Book of World Records as being the tallest yew hedge in the world.
Wow.
This hedge is 300 years old, 120 metres long, and currently about 14 metres high. My name's Ian. I am the forest manager here at the Bathurst estate in Cirencester. We believe the hedge was planted around 1720 by the first Earl when he redesigned the house.
To ensure the hedge stays in its best possible condition, it is very important to use the best quality of tools. My name is Ollie. I am the lead forester on the Bathurst Estate, Cirencester Park.
All right, we get it. They use the clippers. But
They
look
have
at
multiple. They have multiple, like, I'm the arborist. I'm the
300 years old.
henchman. Yeah, that's crazy. Good for them.
And we spend $20 for a burrito from Taco Bell.
Yeah. I don't know how they're connected, but
don't get too down or too depressed. This is Uplifting Gold. The U.S., we have our own landscaper types like that. This is clean and sober lawn care.
Clean and sober, reasonable rates.
See?
She's absolutely tweaking.
Well, she's clean and sober.
Lawn care.
But she had a run a few years back.
Yeah, where she was clean and sober.
She hit it a little hard.
She was clean and sober at one point.
All right, next, this guy's fishing, and he says, you'll see.
Wait for it.
Nice largie.
Got a nice little bass there.
All right, buddy. Till next time. Oh, no way. You can't make that up. You
Caught him in
cannot
a
make
second
that
again.
up.
See?
Isn't that
People
good?
catch fish all day. You're the
Yeah.
only one with an issue.
And well, that's true.
Yeah.
He caught a fish immediately, the same fish twice. I can't even catch one fish once.
No, you're aiming too big. You're going for sharks that aren't there, and then you just got a dead piece of mackerel head hanging out somewhere.
And then the crabs
It's no
eat it.
effort. Yeah, you're feeding the crabs.
And the problem is, obviously, you guys saw the fish I caught at Martha's Vineyard, the sharks. That was impressive. The problem that happened to me here is the first time I ever went Florida shark fishing, I caught a shark within 10 minutes of getting to the beach.
A little one?
And I was like, dude, I fucking did
Bingo.
it. This is the spot.
Yeah.
And now I never catch anything. I've gone 10 times. But the reps is good.
Yeah.
I was talking to my dad, my brother-in-law, my brother. We're in a group chat. And I told them, I said, I'm putting reps in for us. This counts for the group. I'm not catching anything, but it still does count.
Cool.
All right, Pure Americana clip of the week. They had bacon, egg, and cheese, salt, pepper, ketchup at a wedding. Guys, this is important shit. This might be the most important clip of the whole show. Look at this. You see that? That's a Long Island bacon, egg, and cheese.
I don't get why New Yorkers and Long Islanders think that they own bacon, egg, and cheese.
Because everywhere else you
The
get
bread?
it.
So you're saying the bread
The
is
roll,
the difference?
the way the egg is done, the way the cheese is done.
It's a fucking over medium egg. I've had those 100 times.
It's not the same. Well, I've lived all over the country. I've eaten egg sandwiches all over the country. I've never gotten it like I do on Long Island. So you can say that if you want. But I've eaten Chicago egg sandwiches.
I think you guys are
I've
a
eaten
joke.
LA egg sandwiches. I've eaten Florida egg sandwiches. Sausage, egg, and cheese.
Bacon, egg, and cheese. Nobody can do it except for Long Island. You guys take it too seriously.
Well, if you saw what it was, and those who know.
I've had them. I've lived in New York.
You know.
They're okay.
Those you
They're
know.
pretty good.
Those who know. And then New Jersey has a Taylor ham thing going. I don't really fuck with that. But you go to a deli in Long Island and you say sausage, egg, and cheese, salt, pepper, ketchup.
I don't get ketchup.
And they just go boom, 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 boom.
I don't
And if you go to the LA and say that, they go, whoa, slow down. Well, do you want that on toast?
Yeah, New York's good at knowing the acronym. The
Do you
Mexican
want
guy
that on
make
white
it.
bread, untoasted? Do you want that scrambled? Bacon, egg, and cheese, salt, pepper, ketchup. Please.
All right, that's enough.
All right, let's get to our special announcements.
Okay.
We have a very special announcement for Steven with a PH from Montana who's married to Kat. Big news.
Yeah, unless there's two of you.
Big news. Now you're married to Kat +1 because there's a baby in Kat.
Wow. Congratulations.
Kat's pregnant.
Kat's pregnant. Your wife is pregnant. She asked us to break the news.
Steven.
And
Kat.
From Montana.
Family of 3 now. Congrats.
Congratulations, and I hope she filmed your reaction or something.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Doesn't it feel like I'm talking to you? Once I go, Steven with the PH from Montana, married to Kat, you're probably like, no.
Yeah, it's like one of those videos where the dog hears all his favorite words. Steven from Montana, married to Kat.
Is this real?
Yeah.
All right, next.
That's special.
That's
you got
very
some special
special.
treatment. God bless you. Congratulations.
God bless you. Congratulations. Happy 10th Happy 10th. What is it?
Come on, brother. Now you're ruining their anniversary shout out.
Happy 10th anniversary to Miles and Liza. Liza is a great mom, and they're an exceptional couple, and Miles is my friend in real life. Him and I talk all the time. Here's them with the baby.
You ever met Miles?
Not in person.
Okay. So in real life, you just text him a little bit.
But we DM, and the other day he sent me like a riddle, and then we both figured it out. It was fun. But I like Miles a lot, and I like talking to him. He's a great guy, and he told me that Liza's a great mom and a great person as well. So congrats to them. They have a baby, and they're show watchers. So congrats on your
Happy anniversary. But where's the in real life part? Where does that come?
It's my real life when I'm not in front
When
of
you're texting.
Yeah, when I'm not in front of the lights.
Okay. All right.
All right, our last little shout out here is we have a new show watcher. That's Harper. Harper is watching with dad and mom, and they're watching the show. And there she is. Beautiful baby.
Congratulations. And I see you're learning about the mentally unstable man who was released early from the Connecticut prison after he cannibalized someone's brain. So
Yeah.
gotta protect
It's an ugly
Harper.
world out
Yeah,
there.
It's ugly, Harper.
You're going to want to avoid certain people.
Learn these lessons soon.
All right, well, that's the end of the episode. Thank you guys for watching. Like, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. If you're watching to this point, you probably want more show. Tomorrow, that's happening. Saturday, 11 a.m., 30-minute bonus land drops. You guys are going to want to watch it. It's a good one. a lot of stuff we didn't get to today. You're going to love it. Sign up and support us. Keeps the lights on. Thank you guys for watching. Have a nice weekend. We'll see you on Tuesday.
There's a new alien spin, red boy shoots him a look.
Sehr cool, sehr cool. Fleckers Talks, der Podcast mit Richard.